Can a world be good without bad? Can happiness be true without sadness?
No, and in a similar fashion, a positive charge would be nothing without its negative. As a rule of thumb, opposite charges attract. Charged objects also attract neutral objects. How could this be? Well, even the molecules within a neutral object have positive and negative charges, and when a charged object gets close to these molecules, they do their best to separate their charges.
In a conductor, some electrons have the special ability to leap away from their parent molecules and either escape from or get closer to a nearby charge. In insulators, even though electrons are stuck to their parents, molecules can become polarized. Electrons can travel to either end of a molecule in order to make them and the nearby charge happy.
Most positive charges are really an electron deficit, drawing in electrons to distribute negative charge equally. The forces between these charges are electric forces. Now, why are electric forces important in the real world? One word: printers.
Printers use a process called electrostatic printing. That's a confusing word, but it's actually quite a simple concept. Just by looking at its name, we know that it has to do with static electricity. The first step in electrostatic printing involves photoconductive paper, which is able to conduct electricity when light shines on it. Just like us, it can't see in the dark, so it's unable to perform its function. But when there's light, it can do what it needs to do. So, as I was saying, this paper is exposed to a light source which allows it to become conductive. Next, a latent image is put onto the paper. It's kind of like an invisible print in the shape of the image, which is negatively charged only in the areas where the image is going to form. The latent image acts as a map for the positively charged toner, which is now attracted to the invisible image and wants to be bound to it. In a monochromatic or black and white photo, that is easy to understand. But what about colored images with different parts of different colors? Well, there really isn't any way of making sure the right color goes to the right spot if the entire image is charged. So instead of doing it all at once, the process happens 4 times or once for each color.
Laser printers. They sound so futuristic. So how do they even work?
Well, similarly to electrostatic printers, laser printers use light exposure to change charges.
A photosensitive drum becomes negatively charged when light is shown on it by the printer. Information from a computer informs the printer where to point these beams. Then, you wouldn't believe what happens. Positively charged toner particles are attracted to the negatively charged parts of the drum, and they become negative. It might be surprising that they become negative instead of neutral, but the toner particles are less positive than the drum is negative, creating an overall negative charge in the particles. To finish, the paper is given a strong positive charge, so it attracts the now negative toner particles. They are fused together with the application of heat.
This also extends to xerography, or, as you might know them, photocopiers. So how do photocopiers work? You might have noticed that photocopiers shine a light on the surface of whatever you want to be copied. Well, this light passes through the document onto a photosensitive drum, which is a surface whose charge changes when exposed to electromagnetic radiation. In this case, light. The lighted areas cause the already charged surface to have its charge drained away, while the dark areas, or the content of the document, hold on to their charge. Then, negatively charged toner is sprayed onto the surface such that the image of the document's contents is created in the powder. A sheet of paper passes close to the drum on top of a positively charged surface that is attracted to the negatively charged toner. Because the toner is attracted to the positively charged surface that the paper is sitting on, it attacks the paper, transferring the scanned image onto the paper. Finally, the ink is bonded to the paper with the application of heat. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.